And now, That Financial Guy with Keith and Jack Wilson, spreading a wealth of information.
We are a father-son team practicing financial advisors. We're here really out there to try to spread the wealth of information, helping you along your personal finance journey. And Jack, you kind of look, you all right? You feeling okay?
I feel 100%.
Well,
I feel fantastic.
I was about to say you feel pretty maxed out there.
So leading into our segment today, should you max out your 401k?
How'd you like that segue?
Yeah.
You didn't know where it was going with that.
You are definitely the father in this father-son duo.
That's right. Dad jokes all the way. Maxing out your 401k, and I've been doing this a while.
Very mixed reviews on this one.
Yeah, there is mixed reviews. Jack, have been guilty in the past of saying, I've done videos, I've done little TikToks, I've done all these little things about max out your 401k, max out your 401k. And I think it puts a lot of pressure on people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that some people get a little intimidated and maybe
they're saying, how in the heck can I max out my 401k?
People, yeah.
And some people can't. But, well, let's first of all.
Let's go over some numbers.
What is the maximum contribution we'll just start with 2022.
So we got, for 2022 401k, max is 20,500, and that's bumping up next year. We're almost in 2023 now. That's going to be 22,500.
And you got some catch-up provisions of right now about 6,500 if you're over 50 on top of your 20,500. Mm-hmm. And then that's going to go up to 7,500 in 2023. Let's just stick with that 20,500 or 22,500. So that's the maximum contribution. And like I said before, I've been guilty of saying max out. And you hear all people max out your 401k. Mm-hmm. How many people actually do that?
Less than 15%.
Less than 15% of workers actually max out their 401k. So I want to talk about something different as far as instead of concentrating on maxing out that one single account, because I think a lot of people, they associate a 401k, well, that's it. That's my retirement account. That's the only thing that was designed for retirement, and that's not the case.
Right.
I would rather use the verbiage of max out your retirement.
I like that.
Max out your retirement. So follow me on this. I've been thinking about this a lot. All
right now.
Let's just use 2022 figures of 20,500. Let's say someone makes $100,000 a year at their job, and they have said, you know what? I can do it. I can contribute 20,500 into this 401k. And that's where I say, well, not so fast. Hold on. The very first thing you need to look at with your 401k is what is the company match. And I think right now, probably on average, it's around 5%.
Yeah, the average is around 5-6%.
All right, let's say it's 5%. We use even numbers. So at the very least, what should people be doing?
Getting that free money.
Getting the free money. So in this example,
I think that's the biggest positive of 401k. Free money.
100%, because it's not coming out of your pocket. It's coming out of your employer's pocket. Right. As a benefit to work wherever you're working. So use that $100,000 salary. If you put in $5,000, that's 5% of the salary, then the company is putting in $5,000 and you've made 100% return.
Right.
Anything beyond that, hey, the company says, that's it for us, buddy. We said we've done what we're going to do. And the rest of your contributions, sure, it's going in. But let's look at it a different way. Let's look at it as a funnel. And here's some math. All right, you've decided that you can do $20,500 off a $100,000 salary. Well, number one, why not spread that out among different types of accounts earmarked for retirement?
And I think a lot of people, they're only presented 401ks. That's the only retirement income
and it's shoved down their throat about maxing that one out.
Right.
Which that could be because here's another advantage of that 401k. If you put in $20,500 in a contribution, traditional 401k, that's deductible off your taxes. So in this case, if you make $100,000, you contribute $20,500, you're only going to pay tax on what? $79,500, something like that. So that's the beauty of it. But not everybody needs a full big tax deduction. Maybe if you've got a lot of kids, you got child tax credits. This is where tax planning comes. And this is where I'm going. All right, that example, I can contribute $20,500 towards accounts earmarked for retirement. Well, number one, in this example, if their company's matching 5%, you definitely contribute $5,000 in the 401k. Now we got whatever, $15,500 left over. Let's consider some other options of how to invest that in a retirement account.
I think a big segment we can go into is the 3 buckets.
3 buckets. You got 1, 2.
You got enough cups?
Yep. That's my water.
These are the buckets.
These are the buckets.
So let's start over here.
Pay no attention to size.
Let's start over here. Tax deferred.
Tax deferred bucket. That's going to be a 401k or IRA. Tax free bucket. That's going to be your
Roth.
Your Roth. And then the taxable account
That's a good bucket.
Is an investment account or a brokerage account. So now I do preach 3 buckets. So let's go back to what I'm saying. You can make $100,000. You said I can contribute $20,500. You at least put $5,000 into the 401k to get the free money. Now let's slide over to that second bucket, the tax-free. Maybe the company doesn't offer a Roth 401k. If they do, we'll get back to that in a minute. Let's say they don't. And let's say your income, there are income limits in order to contribute to a Roth, but let's say you're in that, you're okay.
The Roth,
we can put in $6,000 in 2022. That's going up to what, $6,500?
$6,500 next year.
So let's say you're under 50. So now definitely look into consider mixing up at least 5 in the 401k, 6 in the Roth. Now we're at 11,000. So we got what, 9,500, something like that left over. Let's consider another mixture, which would be that taxable bucket, like an investment account.
And not everyone's income is going to be like that example, though, of 100,000. But I'd still say you can simply follow that.
You can spread it out, and not everybody's going to max. But I'm using this first example. Yes, I can max, and I'm saying, hey, not so fast. I'm maxing it all in the 401k.
Right.
Look at that Roth option. Look at the taxable bucket. When I say taxable, that's an investment account. It's individual.
No brokerage.
But you earmark it towards retirement. You say, this is my retirement account. Why is that so important? It's the T word. T-A-X. Tax word. So we don't know what taxes are going to be looking like when you retire down the road. They change them midstream anyway. So here you got those 3 buckets. I don't have them up there anymore. You got the 3 buckets, and it gives you the flexibilities. It gives flexibility options. So when it does come time for you to retire, then we can decide, well, wait a minute, I've got this taxable bucket. If I sell something in that, a security, stock, mutual fund, whatever, and there's a gain, I'm going to pay capital gains tax. But for most people, that's 15%.
Right.
And you might be in the 24, 32% tax bracket, whatever. And
some people are 0%.
That's right. If you make and it's really kind of a high level to get into the 0% capital gains tax rate. We better back up. We're not we're not CPAs or accountants. We do know a thing or two about taxes to lead you in the right direction, but everybody's going to be different. Your personal situation, you should seek professional tax advice. But that's the whole thing about this maxing out.
Taxes.
It's all about taxes and taking advantage of it. But again, everybody's going to be different. They may need more of a deduction in 1 year. Okay, fine. Let's put more into the traditional 401k versus the Roth. But that gives you some play. And you never know. Now, if your company offers the Roth, great. You've got 2 buckets right there that you can fill. Now we need to fill the other one. But again, it's very unique. It's you got to look at each individual situation. You got to look at
that's a good position to be in before retirement, having 3 buckets lined up. And now your question, which we get asked a lot, is which bucket do I
pull from first? Yeah.
We want to get into that.
No, we don't want to get into that for this video, but it's usually your taxable bucket. I'll go ahead and say taxable, tax deferred.
That's our opinion.
That's our opinion. Well, again, everybody's different. The point is, you don't want to find yourself in retirement with a tax bomb, because what happened is, if you're plunking everything into that tax deferred bucket, great if you can max it out, and if it's all tax deferred, one day you could pay the piper. Mm-hmm. And here's a way, especially with a Roth, if you follow the rules, the 5-year rule, you got to look at the income limits. You got to keep it for 5 years, 59.5, to avoid taxes and penalty on the earnings, not the contributions. It's all about flexibility. Now, if you can't max out your 401k, do not feel bad. Like we said, most people don't.
I mean, it's less than 15%.
It's not a lot of people coming to our office.
But it's not, it doesn't make sense to do it all the time. If you're not in
I'm saying, let's say you can max it out.
Okay.
But I'm saying, let's spread it out among different accounts.
Yeah, you much rather want to do that.
I would say just look at what you can do. Now, the rule of thumb, most people, we should have said this early on. How much should I save for retirement? Most people are going to say...
Pretty broad.
Most advisors, me included, say you should strive to save 15%.
That's a big mixed reaction as well.
That's a big mixed reaction, but 15% is because you got to think down the road, you got to build this sucker up. And if you have those 3 different type of accounts and vehicles, then you have the options to deal with. That's what it's all about. So don't feel bad if you can't max it out.
X. It's all about the tax.
It's all about the tax, and obviously everybody wants to pay as little in taxes as they can, and that's the whole point, is if you're putting everything into a tax-deferred account...
You got to do the research. I mean, I said earlier...
You're going to pay those taxes.
Like I said earlier, a lot of people are just... proposed the 401k because it's, you go to get a new job. That's what most of the time it's a good old traditional 401k.
Anyway, you have options. You don't have to max it out. The biggest thing, contribute as much as the match is, at least, to get that free money. Then we got to look at, as planners, we always look at your tax situation and see if what's going to make the most sense to you. But I don't know. That's what I wanted to bring out today, because I've had a lot of people talking about maxing out their 401k and how they felt bad that they couldn't. And I would just say, call it max out your retirement instead of just the 401k. Something to think about. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for this episode.
And, a little quickie.
Yeah, a pretty quick one. And hopefully that will help you out and you have found value in this. If you have, please follow this channel wherever you're listening to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Peace.